Hey, what's up guys? Midnight Alpha's here, and a bunch of new changes for Affliction just came out, as well as a bunch of new changes for the game as a whole. So I'm taking just a quick highlight from my stream to kind of just go over all my initial reactions to everything. I will make more full-length videos covering everything Affliction and stuff like that, especially if I do get access to the alpha and whenever I get access to the beta. However, this is basically just going to cover all the new stuff that got announced today in the blue post and my initial reaction, all that kind of stuff, and just kind of talking about my thoughts. I keep getting asked questions about it on the stream, so I felt like it was best to just kind of clip that, put it up here, do a little pre-thing about that. But a bunch more Affliction things are coming soon. We're essentially getting a massive rework coming in the midnight, and I'm very excited for that. So I think everything looks really fun. I'm a little optimistic about a few things. I'm a little cautious about a couple things. Seed has always been something that's I don't mind Seed as a spender, but there's some things with Seed that worry me a little bit as far as like mob density and stuff like that. But UA being a spender again, Seed being a spender again, and a bunch of other core quality things that I'm really excited for. Violent being gone, all that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited. We'll jump into it. Again, this is mainly just a clip from my stream of me kind of initial reacting to everything. But there will be a lot more Affliction content coming soon, so be sure to subscribe for that. And if you didn't know, I do have a merch store with a bunch of new designs that I made with me and my partner. We made everything. She did a great job. I love the way that everything turned out. So if you're interested in anything like that, be sure to check that stuff out. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so let's see. Let's do these real quick. And then, dude, also, this is fucking amazing. Before we dive into stuff, we'll just kind of jump around a little bit. This is fucking amazing. If you get the mythic set, you unlock all the lower difficulties. This is oh my god, thank you so much. As someone who loves collecting transmog sets, man, this is so holy shit. We would have had our fucking LFR sets forever. And no more convoluted trying to get some low eye level shit to use as a catalyst or something like that, man. Thank God for that. Also, who pre-ordered their Clicks edition, chat? Anybody? We'll grab this too. See, the Trump rank coming back is kind of interesting, and Academy already coming back is interesting to me. I'm hoping Academy goes through some changes, but I'm very surprised to see Academy back already. That's very interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Also, AWC. I'm actually excited for that. Their announcements to a bunch of that stuff is really interesting. All right. Okay, so I did want to look at the talent tree real fast for Affliction before we dive into the notes, or do you guys want to do notes first, then talent tree? Maybe we do notes first, then talent tree. I did. Same. Yeah, same. Wait, so if I get heroic or mythic set, I also get normal FR. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, if you get the mythic set for a tier, you get all of the ones below it. That's fucking rad as shit. That's so sick. Lastly, we are changing the cooldown. Yeah, I also was confused by that. We'll get to that. I think that Dark Lair was 1 minute on the alpha originally. And then they put it back to 2 minutes. This is where my mind went. I think that they originally on the alpha made it a 1 minute cooldown, which lines up with what my suggestion was. Remember I was talking about making a 2 minute versus a 1 minute cooldown for Affliction? That's kind of like that, but I think they just moved it back to a 2 minute cooldown. That's how I read it anyways. But dude, I love that they literally brought Dark Harvest back. I thought it was going to be Dark Soul, but they just brought Dark Soul back kinda, but called it Dark Harvest, which I feel like is also kind of confusing. But yeah. So here's the thing. I'm just going to call this right now because I already can see it happening. With Violent gone, there's no more pinpoint for people to complain about, and Rapture being gone is more pinpoint. People are going to complain that you can't apply multiple agonies quickly. I swear to God, I'm gonna hear it. I already fucking know it. I already know it. The moment that they said twin moons, I was like, oh fuck. I'm happy for that. That's fine, but I already know. Somebody's gonna say some shit. What the fuck on Holy Rick was that? I read any of this. All of this shit. Here you go, dudes. Yo, one of the mods, pin this to the top. Thank you. Sorry, I scrolled. Wait, did I scroll past everything? What the fuck is this? Oh no, we didn't scroll past it, all right? Thanks, mods. They remove. I don't think they remove quality of life by any means. I don't think removing Violent removes quality of life. Not even in the fucking slightest, man. Not even the slightest. Not even a little bit. What's up, Pop Smurf? How's it going, dude? It shouldn't be too bad. No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's a completely neutral option between the two choices. if we're going to get rid of Violentine entirely and you want Agony to be more of something that Affliction is like managing, which I've said so many times that that's clearly what they want. They like want us to manage Affliction or Agony. That is the like easy way to go about that. But yeah, I think the double Agony thing, totally fine. I think it's totally fine. Doesn't bother me at all. Your setup will be, so here's the thing, your setup will probably still be like around the same time because you're going to be just putting out a bunch of Agonies, and that's like probably like 6 to 7 globals ish just for those, but you can do it as the group is kind of like kind of grouping. That'll be fun. Okay, so it's just Moon spreading Moonfires now, kinda. What's up, Limber? How's it going? Welcome in. What's good? My only problem with Twin Moons thing is the fact that target swapping makes dot spreading faster. If they would just allow you to put 2 dots on targets that don't already have Agony active, be a good change. Target swapping is what makes that so awkward. Yeah, I don't know about the target swapping. I don't know how that necessarily affects target swapping thing, because it's just you're still applying Agony the same way you'd apply Agony whether you target swapped or not. I really wish that we would see Soul Swap in this tree, but there's a potential chance that Soul Swap is in somewhere potentially still. I haven't gone through everything. I haven't seen the talent trees. I'm assuming that it's not in here, but that is something that I will continue to give feedback on, that we need something that's faster for target swapping. It's something that I actually brought up when people would bring up UA being a spender in the past, was that target swapping felt bad then, and I feel like it's going to feel just as bad now, because Rapture target swapping was bad too. So we're going to have to figure out something that goes with that whole world. So I don't know. We'll see. Granted, there also seems to be a little bit of philosophical change about target swapping, or things that they were talking about that with like game pacing. So maybe that helps us as well. I don't know. 2 stars get opener. Even started. I don't really care about that. It's like Moonfire now. Correct. Yeah. That talent was in the War Within beta, by the way. And it's nice to see them bring it back. Wait. Oh, the Twin Agony one? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. He says get up all rolling, but it's blast off University. Yeah. Well, the problem is, doesn't Boomkin have shit that extends all their shit? Because we kind of only have Glare that does that. And then we had like a talent with Soul Rod that did that with Malign Omen, but I don't know if it's still there. Oh, it's spinner now. UA. Can be applied up to 5 targets. We'll read all this stuff in a second. Rapture's gone. Yep. Archer gone, VT gone, Soul Rock got replaced. Yeah. Okay, so there's something they say. I guess we'll just start reading this shit. There's something that they say about Soul Rot that's really interesting, and that it's a channeled spell. I don't know, man. Channeled spells are really awkward, especially in Mythic Plus, but we'll see. Starfall extends. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because some of the dots are out. Big glaring difference. Yeah, so we'll see, I guess, how that feels. That's the only thing that worries me is like, but again, I feel like maintaining Agony, I'm already used to doing. It'll kind of cut it in half. You'll be able to kind of duplicate that, right? You're still maintaining Agonies the same way you maintain them now, but you'll be applying it to 2 targets. Doesn't really bother me. But I don't have any other cast time. It's Grasp now, isn't it? No, there is another Grasp. Malefic Grasp is in there too. I thought about Seed. I'm kind of crazy about Miss Rapture. Not crazy. I just think that Seed definitely has problems too. It's not the end-all be-all answer. I'm glad that we're going back to this though, because I feel like the thing I've heard so much is like bring back UA Spender, but I think that there's plenty of problems with that too. So I'm actually really curious to see how this iteration of it feels. You know what I mean? I'm not going to criticize necessarily how this is going to be in Mythic Plus until I can actually feel it in Mythic Plus. I'm going to just talk about what I see and what it looks like and what I think of stuff, but I'm not going to criticize anything until I can actually play with it. I feel like it's dumb to criticize anything in that capacity because I don't know. We'll see. And as far as all that stuff goes, this is an alpha. There is still a lot of shit that's going to happen. So hopefully we get beta soon. Hopefully I can get beta access soon. Hopefully we get some Mythic Plus soon so we can start testing this shit and then providing a bunch of feedback about all this shit. This is the time where if you care about a spec, it doesn't have to be Affliction, by the way. If you care about any spec and you get beta access, play it and give constructive feedback. Don't just be like, this spell is shit. Give like, hey, I think this needs this, or I think this should be this. Do it on the forums, do it on the fucking beta response thing, do that shit. The best thing you can do is use your voice, man, that's it. And be smart about that shit, don't be an idiot. I like Soul Rot, so it's okay. That doesn't have any sort of extension mid-rotation now with that Violetine's gone. No, Soul Rot did that. Violentine kind of just didn't catch your Agonies in the first place, so I didn't really do anything. That catch is basically non-existent, but the only way to mask is in pressing the button a bunch. Kinda. So you would right now use Soul Rot every 1 minute, and that extends the next 3 like raptures that you spend extend your dots by like a second or 2 or something like that. And then every 2 minutes when you dark clit extends all your dots by 8 seconds. So yeah, we need something kind of a little bit more baked in to extend stuff if we want that to be a little bit more. But I even still I don't think they want that. I think they want us spreading UAs out there, getting all of our dots rolling, and then filling with Nightfall cast and just catching with Agony. So we'll see. I don't think they're removing too much. Got some brace change only interest too. Yeah. Okay. So, dude. Okay. I'm actually so hyped. There's a couple things that I think are interesting I haven't seen yet. But it says Curse of Exhaustion replaces Curse of Weakness while active. Whatever. Reduces cards moves to 50%. Can only have 1 curse or blight per active. Isn't blight part of our new Apex talents or our new like our new hero talents? I think this is gonna be cool. But and then Curse of Tongues. I don't really know why they're calling like. So Curse of Exhaustion is replaces Curse of Weakness, and Curse of Tongues replaces Curse of Weakness. That's confusing as fuck. But regular thing. But then there's a thing down here. This is almost exactly what I suggested in my fucking makeshift talent tree, where you cast a fucking curse and it applies to all enemies within 10 yards. This is like legitimately almost exactly what I said. I'm so hyped for that. I don't really care about this. It's fine. This will probably just be a take it or whatever. This is fine too. This seems more of a demo benefit, but it's whatever. Healing Divine Drain Life, Primary Demon 100%. This is cool. It's whatever. Again, passive stuff. This is my favorite thing that we've gotten so far. DI being a spinner, can you put UA? Yeah, you can put on 5 targets. It's gonna be huge. This is so sick. This is a massive utility buff for us in Mythic Plus, in my opinion. And it might sound stupid, but it really, I swear to God, it really is. Especially for Affliction not having Violate anymore, we can actually use our fucking curses and not worry about them getting just completely destroyed. This is great. New talent, Gorfian's Avarice. Drain Life now. Channels 50%, 100% faster, restores health. This is great. Let's go. Drain Life being a little bit more applicable would be kind of cool, but we'll see. Just cast someone to my gateway. And then you can use it twice. I think this is cool. Although the reduced cat time thing is weird to me because I don't know a world where you'd ever cast it instead of just soul burning it, but sure. Blight of Weakness, call forth a cloud of clawing shadow mist and envelops the target and elements in 10 yards, increasing the time between their attacks by 100% and reducing their crit strike by 10% for 12 seconds. This is so sick, by the way. This is really cool. I hope that this is actually playable in Mythic Plus. I think it's a cool thing. I think more group utility is really cool. And stuff like this is really cool too. I'd like to see this also be and cast times. Like increases the time between attacks and cast times by 100%. That's what I'd like to see for that. Until change positions, Zealotry, all this shit's gone. Amp Curse gone, Curse of Fulfillment gone. I forgot what some of these other ones, Demonic Inspiration and Demonic Tactile. These are the ones that increase like your health or whatever. Lifeblood's gone. Soul Conduit. These are all talents that you just didn't take. Teaching a Satyr though you did take. Wrathful Minion I didn't think you take. Okay, let's read this wall of text for Affliction real quick though. I feel like a proc would be nice when you get an instant cast Rapture or something. You get 2 seconds out extension. Press Agony, nearly as much spinning. Yeah, so there was something they said in one of these posts. We'll get down to it eventually. I think it was in one of their like overall blue posts. And it was talking about like core fundamental changes to the game about reducing cognitive load for certain specs and still having rewarding gameplay while adjusting like core functionality and just for every spec. I think that that's something that goes into that. West side, that would be maybe something that while they're adjusting all these things and looking at all these specs at a whole, when you come back to something like Affliction that has all of this management, all these dots, which it seems like they're trying to dramatically reduce that like overall, but still allow like a lot of like, hopefully a lot of like chance for like skill expression, which is my favorite part about Affliction. I think Affliction has a ton of skill expression right now, while having dramatic differences between if you're comfortable with the spec or not comfortable with the spec. I still think the new version is going to have that, but I would be cool if it wasn't so punishing in either direction, but you still had a lot of skill expression. That's my favorite part about WoW in general, and that's my favorite part about certain specs in WoW in general. And it seems like they're still trying to keep that as a core idea, but also kind of bring some shit that's completely out of line back into line. So that's what one they're posted anyways. Like Chris, useful, huge, yeah. So back. It's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited for beta. I feel like refreshing Agony is fair. I just think maybe it should be a little less whole picture. It seems to dominate the rotation at times. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's something that they're going to have to kind of get a feel for where they want the rotation to be. Like, because I think here's the issue. If Agony falls, you lose so much. So there should be some reward for managing your Agonies correctly, but it'd be nice if in some situations where if an Agony fell, it wasn't the end of the world, but yeah, we'll see. So, okay, let's read this. Let's read this whole note about Affliction. Unstable Affliction and Seed of Corruption are returning as Affliction's main soul shard spenders. Malefic Rapture resolved a lot of issues that plagued Affliction towards the end of Battle for Azeroth, which I think is interesting because I think we might still have some of these problems, but we'll see. However, it placed a lot of emphasis on rotational setup and increased its overall complexity. I can agree. Malefic Rapture constantly possesses the question, when should I spend my soul shards? This is exactly what I talked about when I said when they removed Seed. This is exactly what I talked about every time that I liked about Rapture being the only spinner that we have right now was literally every single time you casted Rapture in a key or you casted Seed in a key, you needed to think about exactly where those mobs were at the beginning of the cast and at the end of the cast, because if they were too spread out, you needed to cast Rapture, and if they were close enough together and there was more than 3 of them, you needed to cast Seed. We'll see how this plays out now, but I still think this could potentially still be an interesting problem that happens with Seed of Corruption in general. It's difficult to answer how many factors impacted its throughput. Additionally, each new damage over time effect added to Affliction's arsenal subsequently, holy shit, delete the throughput of Malefic Rapture, which makes it feel less impactful in settings with multiple targets, which is interesting. I actually don't know if that's true right now. I don't know if I feel that way. While we could easily reduce the number of effects impacting Rapture, which they have, we wanted to answer the question. We wanted to answer the question of soul shard spinning to be now most of the time outside of pulling for Dark Lair. Okay. Overall, we want less conditionals to affect Affliction's throughput to reduce setup time. Love that. This is a great sense. Me too. Increase the consistency. Love that. Yep. This is a big thing. This is something, I swear to God, when I'm talking about what the changes I want for Affliction, this is exactly what I want. I think Affliction should be a somewhat bursty spec, but an extremely consistent spec, and I think that would do fucking wonders for us in Mythic Plus. If we were consistent, I think we'd be so happy, and I think we're actually on our way to that. And added clarity to when spells should be cast. For example, Shadow Embrace has been removed. This is huge. Not hear enough about this. This is fucking massive. Get rid of this. This is so frustrating to deal with, man. And the damage increase until Affliction provided prior to Shadowlands via its Contagion talent has been omitted, while the effects further dilute the throughput of Affliction and intrude on the identity of Haunt, which is a singular priority target. Yep, that's cool with me. I'm fine with that. Because I think there is a world where it's like, you don't need to throw Haunt out every time in like a low key. You know what I mean? High keys, you want to throw Haunt out on your prio target, but like that would just simplify it even further. Old Affliction come back. Seed of Corruption spam. Yeah, well, UA and Seed of Corruption spam. I think the rework of 6 is gonna be interesting to play with, man. Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm really excited to get through all this stuff. But at the end of the day, until we get it in Mythic Plus and actually get a feel for how it feels in there, can only see so much, right? It is an alpha. Things will change. Things will go through multiple iterations. So let's keep doing our thing. It's not Christmas for us. I'm pleased to witness this. Yeah, dude. It's the first time in 4 years. I've been streaming. It'll be 4 years in February. So a little before 4 years that I've seen Affliction go through an actual major shift. The last one was like going into the War Within. We had a decent little shift with like Seed getting removed, some decent talents getting moved around a little bit. But this is a massive shift to Affliction and probably one of the largest like things that I've seen the spec get as a whole since I've been streaming, which is crazy. On super form with the Apex talent. Yeah, I'll be curious to see how that works. Yeah, I haven't read any of those Apex talents yet. But what I'm saying more so is I agree with this whole thing of like Haunt's identity is supposed to be to that prio target, and UA doesn't seem to be as much as that prio target. At like now, they've kind of bumped it up a little bit more now, right? Okay. Now to address the elephant in the room, Vile Taint. While many specialists have tools to solve DOTS applications, DOTS do not define the moment-to-moment gameplay that shouldn't... Wait. While many specialists have tools to solve DOT application, yeah. DOTS do not define their moment-to-moment gameplay and shouldn't, as this is the realm of Affliction. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. So, they said it here. Not fucking Boomkins, not fucking Shadow Priests, okay? None of them. They didn't see shit, and I didn't see anything about Feral Druid in here either. How will Seed Spam be in the context of rework? Be different than Seed Spam and Late Dragonfly when you padded with all those lashes? What are you talking about? Are you, wait, Riz, hold on, Westside, are you worried that you see this dungeon back and then you see Seed Spam coming back and you think Oh, fuck. There's going to be a lot of lashers again. And that's what you're worried about? Agony will lose a lot of texture and throughput if its application played out in a similar way to corruption, which I don't know if I agree with that, but this is what I was talking about when I'm saying they want Agony to be more of a core thing that you're dealing with as the spec. Like, I said that with Volatile Agony, that talent that they added where you get rewarded for like catching it at a certain timing. That's exactly what they want. They want Agony to be something that you're managing. So it is. We are the dot spec. Yeah. Dungeon Pool's crazy. Skyreach is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. In addition, there is less emphasis on having every target afflicted with Agony with the removal of Malefic Rapture, as your spinder's throughput is no longer dependent on having Agony active. I can agree with this in some aspects. I think that you don't necessarily need to have Agony. Like, if you go into a pool with fucking 30 targets, I don't think you need to put Agony on every target. I can agree with that, because in that situation, you will probably be spending too much time casting Agony. However, I think that you will probably still put Agony on a vast majority of those targets. I think it's actually perfect. That first pull in Alcatraz Academy, you are like, while your tank is running around gathering all that shit, you're gonna be putting Agonies on as many fucking things as you can in that pull. Granted, you're probably not gonna have Agony on every target, but a vast majority of those, and you'll go into your normal setup. So I can agree with this in some capacity. Since Volatile cannot maintain Agony on its own, yeah, it definitely can't. We're removing it and replace it with shared Agony, in effect similar to Balanced Druid's Twin Moons. This gives us a controlled, tunable method of scaling Agony application in multi-target situations that remains core. Yeah, so this is something that I think is really important to remember. It is an alpha. I would say there is a very strong possibility that this goes from just 1 additional to maybe even 2 additional. So we'll see. There's a good joke at the end of a real question. I'm curious about how seed spam will now differ than seed spam was and why you're looking forward to it again. I'm not necessarily looking forward to the seed spam aspect. I don't think it will differ, honestly. I think it'll be basically the same. I think you will probably have Haunt and Agony and UA on your Proud target and Wither or Corruption on all the other targets, and then you will probably just start spamming seeds out there. And the only thing that I think is a little different this time around is there seems to be a proc that will sometimes make seed instant cast. The other thing I'm hoping for is that in the past, not necessarily Dragonflight, but I think in Legion, I could be wrong, I believe the cast time of seed was definitely shorter than it was in Dragonflight. The cast time of seed was way too fucking long. So if the cast time on seed goes down and you still have the chance to proc an instant cast seed, I'm cool with that. But we'll see. Yeah, putting Agonies on everything as they pull and die. Correct. Adding even 1 more target would make it amazing. 3 targets for 1 button seems awesome. Yeah, I don't know if they would ever do it, but all I'm saying is they did specifically say there's a tunable method of scaling Agony application. I think that means that they are absolutely watching to see if 2 is enough. Like, is applying 2 enough with the way the kit works? I don't know. We'll see. Lastly, we're changing the cooldowns for Affliction to better suit these gameplay changes. First, we are extending the cooldown of Summon Dark Lair to 2 minutes, was 1 minute. Again, I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of stream. I read this and was extremely confused because no, it's not. But what I think happened is I think that at the beginning of the alpha, it was a 1 minute cooldown. I think that they originally made Dark Lair a 1 minute cooldown. I think it should still be a 1 minute cooldown. Personally, I think you could just adjust its damage, and I think its core identity would still be the same. About like extending all your dots would feel amazing. So we'll see. But I think that's what this means. I think originally it was a 1 minute on the alpha, and they just didn't know. To reduce the frequency in which players will want to pull soul shards to maximize unstable affliction with Dark Lair. Secondly, I don't know what they mean by this. Like, is it about the fact that they mean like you'll stack a bunch of UAs on 1 target because he's scaling off of that 1 target? I'm assuming that's what they mean with this specific thing. Secondly, we're introducing a new 1 minute cooldown Dark Harvest, which formerly was the name of the like ability that you got when you would soul rot multiple targets, so that's a little confusing to me. This is an experimental channeled spell that mirrors Malefic Rapture in some ways, but instead of scaling per dot, it only needs a single dot to maximize throughput. Let us know. So, oh, you know what? This actually, hold on. This is more like Oblivion. I did not catch this before. This is more like Oblivion. It's a channeled spell that scales its damage off of dots, but it only scales it off of 1 dot. It's Oblivion. I would say it's more Oblivion than Soul Rot. Unless it has some other functionality, but it reminds me more of that. New talents of another seed cast, and we'll take a look. I haven't looked at the talents yet. We're reading through this. I already read through this once. I haven't looked at any of those talents. So I see how Soul Harvester's going to change. Could be the better dot hero talent, perhaps. I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about which one's going to be the better one. I'd worry more about just like seeing how each one plays. I'm going to tell you right now, I would bet money that Soul Harvester revolves around this. If they think, wait, I think they mean sitting on 45 shards for a long time, so you have them for your cooldown. Yeah, but what I'm saying more so is, is the reason you're holding on to them in this universe because your Dark Lair is scaling off of how many UAs you have on a target? What's the point? What does it matter? I'm guessing you're pulling them so your Dark Lair can extend all of those UAs is my concept for that. What's all this in? What's happening? Like there's a talent that extends your dots when you channel Dark Harvest. Probably. I mean, if it's Malign Omen, then it should be the same. I haven't looked at any of those talents yet. I haven't looked at any of them. You know, buffed UAs, but second with soul shards. Well, yeah, but then I feel like, aren't you losing the dot extension portion of those? I guess you would put out like, if it's Soul Harvester world, then I guess you would put out UAs, Dark Lair, and then you would probably get some soul shards, I'm guessing, because that's kind of Soul Harvester's thing, and then you'd probably just dump more UAs. However, I'm going to assume that Soul Harvester's probably going to see a rework in terms of how many shards it gives you, because right now you fucking drown in them. So we'll see. I'll be curious. But this is definitely interesting. Okay, Apex talents, which I haven't looked at all yet. Haunt now deals shadow damage to its host and 3 enemies within 10 yards that are suffering corruption or restoration. This is dope. I would love to see Haunt actually affect these 3 enemies. I think that'd be so fucking dope, dude. Like, if this means Haunt also increases the damage that these enemies take, another thing that I basically suggested in my fucking video. Love that. I'm saying hello on a weird manner. What's up, girl? Sucking on soul shards? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Don't be worried about that. Increases the damage on Haunt by 50% and 100%. Haunt increases damage dealt to the host by an additional 2 to 4. This is okay. Damage dealt by Haunt has a chance to summon a Desperate Soul that casts Fell Claw and Carrion Swarm. I think this is cool. I think this is really cool. 12 seconds before being banished back to Nathreza. Violently claws enemy target on fire damage, and then Carrion Swarm unleashes a horde of bats to assault enemies in front of the caster, dealing shadow damage. This is gonna look fucking rad. I really, really fucking hope this looks cool. God, I hope this looks cool. They specifically, there was a post, by the way, I read about like fucking class identity and stuff looking cool, and I'll just keep hoping for shit like that. Well, that's 60% modifier. Wait, so Haunt with that is 60% damage modifier. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what that all means here for this, because this is big, man. This is big. King Confirm looks cool. That's dope. It's a Dreadlord, looks like that's dope. It's a Ghost Dreadlord? Fuck yeah, we need more ghosts, man. Hexweaver increase your haste by 2%, cool. Mastery by 2%, that's fine. Show Agony increases the Agony damage by 10. Now Agony now hits another enemy within 50 yards of the target. Cool. I almost think it'd be kind of cool if it has a chance to hit an additional one or something like that. Maybe that'd be kind of cool. Maybe it's a tier set bonus. You know what I mean? Like Agony, you always guarantee 2, and then like a tier set bonus or some other thing has a chance to proc another one. You have 3rd. Seeds Destruction reduces cast time of Seed of Corruption by 0.2, 0.4. This is basically what it was, but I don't know what the default. I don't know what the default cast on my Seed of Corruption is right now, but this is basically what we already had. Dark Harvest, consume the life force of each target afflicted by your damaging periodic effects. Dealing shadow flame damage over 3 seconds. Damage done by Dark Harvest heals you 50% of damage done. Oh, okay, I understand. It's like an AoE version of Oblivion and Soul Rot. Kinda. Because Oblivion was a channeled spell. I forget how long the channel was. It had like a 45-second cooldown. And then Soul Rot heals you for like some of the damage done or whatever. This is definitely interesting. My only concern of this is, how does this fit into the rotation? And is it better than just spamming seeds? I guess we'll find out, because this is the problem that happens with shit like this all the time. But there's a strong possibility that this is what you do, like after you do your setup, you do this and you just start spamming seeds. Agony damage is increased by 10%, starts at 3 stacks. Okay. it should just start at fucking like 15 stacks or something, man. So it's not that big. This could actually fix a lot of that problem with Agony falls. When Soul Affliction expires, it has a 4 to 8% chance to reapply itself. This is dope. Shard Invincibility, this is actually really cool. This could actually mean like a lot. Shard Invincibility, damage dealt by Shadow Ball, Drain Soul has a 20%, 10% chance to make your next UA. Cost no soul shards and cast instantly. I don't see anything about Seed. This one. Boom. It's a different talent. This should just be one. Increase corruption by 10 and Nightfall addition makes your Seed corruption cost no shard. This is huge though. That's huge. I got 1.5 there, 1.4 level gear. Not bad. It's not bad. With that talent. I think the last thing set up with Dark Lair and UA spread, spam C. Wait, what's up? I think last thing. Well, yeah, no, for sure. That's what I'm saying. This would be the last thing, and then you would just dump Seeds. That's exactly what I said, yeah. The slow ramp of Agony seems kind of bad now. I definitely think ramping Agony is something that might need to be looked at a little bit. I think ramping Agony is interesting. Or maybe something that helps you catch your Agony. Like I said, this could actually go a long way in that. You know? Like, if this starts your stacks higher, then it wouldn't be the end of the world if you have an Agony fall. Maybe. So no Chaos Bolt. Nope, no Chaos Bolt. Sorry, what's up, Twitter? It's October trading post out? Yeah, the October trading post is out. Haven't gone yet. Okay. Increases damage up by Seed to its host by 50. So the Seed of Corruption now embeds Demon Seeds into additional targets at 50% effectiveness. I actually don't remember this part of Sow the Seeds. I don't remember what its effectiveness was before. It might be the same. I just don't remember. Each time inflicted by UA, increase all damage you deal by 4%. That's actually kind of dope for AoE. I think this... I actually really like this idea. I think this is a really interesting way of rewarding multi-targeting. I like that a lot. Casting on Soul Affliction on a target who is not already affected by Soul Affliction, 10% chance to refund the Soul Shard, no cost. Dope. And then Malefic... I can't believe Malefic Grass is back. I feel like I've talked about this so many times. I actually think I've talked about this in at least 3 different videos. Nightfall now transforming next Drain Soul Shadow Ball into Malefic Grass, which is dope. The fact that it also works on this is really cool, in my opinion. Finds target in Twilight, dealing shadow damage over 4 seconds. When Malefic Grass deals damage, it causes all your other periodic damage effects to instantly deal 30% normal periodic damage. Super rad. Super rad. You can have UA on 5 targets now. Correct. Yeah. Give me a demon changer real quick. No, I can't. Too much to look like. Yeah, just like before. Yeah, you can read all of that. Also, Affliction has been redesigned. Oh, here we go. Afflicts target with used shadow damage over 8 seconds. May afflict a target up to 5 unstable afflictions at once. If the spell dealing shadow damage will just to the speller silences them for 4 seconds, and it's one soul shard, the target dies while afflicted. So, yeah, you can have up to 5 UAs, which means you can have them all on 1 target, or you can have them all on multiple targets. Gambit has been redesigned, reducing the cast on UA by 0.15 and 0.3. Increase damage by 5 and 10. Cool. Proof Time has been redesigned, increase damage of Haunt by 35% and its cast time 0.3. These are such weird numbers to me. Like, why not keep these even? Like, why not make this like 0.3 and 0.5 or something? You know what I mean? Cold of the Week has been redesigned, increased Dark Harvest damage by 10%. And when Dark Harvest deals damage, extends the duration of Agony Corruption UA by 2 seconds. So this is literally Malign Omen, but now affecting this instead of affecting Soul Rot. But it's the same thing, right? But hold on. So it affected it by, you would get an additional like 6 seconds from Malign Omen. How long? I wonder how many ticks you get of this. Is it still 3? Looks like it hits 4 times. Okay, so you might actually get an additional, if you got an additional 2 seconds, that'd actually be really cool. Let's fucking, oh, god damn it, Jan. Get 30-second agony. 30-second agonies? Where? When you UA or just default? Or when you, like, Dark Lair or what? Consider corruption damage increased by 330%. It's reduced by 8 target. Oh! And it's reduced beyond 8. So people wanted seed back, but they wanted us to get target capped, right? So Dark Lair cooldown is now 2 minutes. This is probably still fine, by the way. So Dark Lair cooldown is now 2 minutes, was 1 minute. This is so funny to me. I still think this was like an alpha thing that they didn't realize. Anyways, the talent tree was learned at level 10. Language now 2-point talent. I want to know more about this. Stations icon has been updated. Okay, cool. Give us alpha. What's up, baby? How's it going, bud? I'm interested in how it's impacted by haste. More ticks? Probably not. How come the Halloween set isn't green? Couldn't tell you that. I'm not in charge of that. I'm not in charge of that, girl. Oh, I get a shotgun. I'm moving that shit out 24/7 like a fucking rogue shotgun? That's interesting. Baby, how's it going, dude? What's good? How you feel about these affliction things, man? We're still reading through everything right now, dude. We're just vibing right now, my guy. I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that. Insane Aff looks great. I agree. Looks really cool, man. I'm excited. I'm still very, very hesitant about Seed. I think Seed is potentially a problem, but I won't know until we actually get in keys and can like feel it. But you know, we'll see. Maybe it's okay. Again, don't like that. Don't like this right here. I don't like that. Dark Harvest, Dark Vigorosity, Focus Malignancy, Improved Malefic Rapture, and Kindled Malice, Malefic Rapture, Malefic Touch, Malign Omen, Oblivion, Oblivion gone. RIP Oblivion, dude. Got its chance, faded into nothing. Phantom already gone, good. Shadow Embrace gone, good. Soul Rod's gone, whatever. Crescendo's gone, sad. Voltaint gone, fucking farewell, dude. Hope you fucking drown at the bottom of the ocean. Volatile Agony and Perpetual Instability. All gone. Not gonna read the demo changes or the Destro changes right now. We might go over some shit like this. I think there's probably some cool stuff in here. Not super interested really right now. Angular Vision is now fire. I think it's a really interesting idea. I was saying, I think that, I think it'd be cool if maybe there's a talent or a like tier set that maybe has a chance to make it apply to a third. Or I'm happy that it seems like in their little thing that they said that, it's like a tuning knob. This goes to controlled tunable method of scaling Agony application. I like that. That means that if they feel like it's still not enough, then maybe it could apply it to multiple targets instead, or sorry, it could apply it to like 3 instead of 2. But yes, I think it's cool. Significantly better than Voltaint. I think you skipped Death Embrace. What about it? This one? Oh yeah, Agony, Corruption, UA, Seed of Corruption, Shadow Ball deal up to 40% increased damage on targets. Huge. This right now is like 15%, by the way. So giving us a fucking XQ back is big, man. Big. It's like the entire bottom of the tree gone. Surprise, surprise, all sucked. Almost all sucked, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why, but I'm really excited about the old Death Embrace come back. Yeah, dude, this is dope. No, this gives us a fucking XQ. This is great. App is basically bounced. Absolutely not. There's an F0. I've been waiting. Hey, man, I cannot wait to not hear about it anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like the number one thing I heard about was people complaining about they want Legion Half back. Now I don't have to hear it anymore. Now I'm just like, yep, now we just get to slam. I just want to do keys, dude. Yeah, if I had a bingo card for the whole Rapture UA thing, I don't think we'd see it. Maybe. I don't know. All right, let's take a look at these talent points real quick. I haven't looked at any of this shit. I haven't looked at any of these. Okay. So, all single target damage done by you and your minions grant you Shadow Shields absorb 3% damage, 10% health, okay? Feldom. Ever wonder why it's like to be a basketball? Whoa, wait, hold on. Yeah, this is class 3. I want to start at class 3 and move my way over there. Because the class stream has me worried, because I want to see more changes to the class 3. Your next Amphoi Walker. Okay, same Feldom, nothing changed there. Burning Rush. Nothing changed, right? Phoenix Stride. Nothing changed. Not enough pictures. You don't like the question marks? What's on the question marks? There's basically no chance they do this. I'm open to anything though. Not hard pressed to keep Rapture pretty ambivalent. That's exactly how I feel, and that's exactly what I've said to basically every time anybody's brought up Rapture or UA or Seed Spender. I'm like, look, man, I'm gonna play AF regardless. Whether they kept Rapture or not, I'm still here. I'm gonna be playing it no matter what. And I'm down for whatever the changes are. I'm just happy that we're getting an overwhelming amount of changes and hopefully a fucking top to bottom relook at exactly what's happening, and that looks like what's going on. Because I feel like the problem is they just keep adjusting little things since BFA basically, and all those little things have culminated in just like this spec that's just like this duct tape little ball of like garbage. That's what we've got right now. So they are removing tons of talent stuff to get ready to launch on Xbox. No, I don't think so, but what the fuck? People play it on fucking Steam Deck right now. Who cares? Like the left or the right question mark? I'm kind of like a center split question mark guy. I kind of like this one. Your soul H absorption passively. Oh, this is the same one. Just demon skin, right? Regular demon skin, regular fell armor, regular coil, demonic embrace. That's cool that this is like actually center mass. So you can actually get this shit now. Looks like we actually get these fucking talents. Banish is cool. So Oh, you actually have to talent into Curse of Exhaustion now. Interesting. Okay. Regular Soul Link. More Sacrifice. Demonic Circle. Location. It says 800%. Is it 800%? Is that a change? To someone dunking range, yeah. Those are placeholders for it. That's what I thought. I was like, it's not even close to that number on live, right? Yeah, it's like 200%. Okay. That's what I thought. I just had to check that real quick. Sorry. Plus additional whatever. Total pairing effects. Got it. Alright, so this Soul Link. Backpack also for primary demon 50%. This is interesting. I don't really know if we'll ever take that. I don't know. Because it's baseline 5%. That is cool that it's not such a huge sacrifice, but 800% of the day. It's fucking crazy. But maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm down. But then this is still a thing. This still says only some 5%. So I think, like Baby said, this is just a placeholder number. This aren't exactly correct. Love this. Love this talent. This is like almost exactly what I suggested in my video. Actually super hyped for this. I think it's so dope. Also love that all Warlock specs can get this, but I think this should be a core thing to Affliction in my opinion. Healing down by Drain Life also heals your primary demon. Okay. No damage required to break your fear. Horrify. Interesting, this is like way over here now. Alright, as tanky as we want to swear, main class is just hanging out. Dude, I swear. I swear to God, I have to say this so much and nobody ever believes me. I'm just kidding, I love you. You gave Lance a sword. I gave Lance a sword. I gave Jan a sword, yeah. And he's been a great mod. He's been such a good mod, dude. One of the better mods. Way better than Westside. It goes like Westside then Jan, and then all the other mods are like all even with each other. I should give us mage defense and let them do nothing. I think that people who don't play Warlock think that Warlock defensives are fine. I think if you play Warlock in enough stuff, you'll realize that our defensives are good in various specific situations and are extremely lacking in others. And it has to do with the cooldowns a lot, in my opinion. Like, I think Resolve's cooldown is fucking insane. For what it is. Crits my gateway. Okay. Howl of Terror. Ooh, Howl of Terror and Shadow Fury being on a choice note is definitely interesting. I don't know why you would ever give a Shadow Fury, but God, I hope the Shadow Fury becomes an instant cast time. I really hope that this is a node that makes Shadow Fury instant cast. Just make this an instant cast. Dark Pact is not as good as it used to be. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not. And you want to know why? It's because you can only use it if you're max, like if you're at high health. The fact that you even have to take a talent to sacrifice even a little bit of health to do it, your Dark Pact will break so fucking fast. I promise. Against raw damage gets shit on by dots. We absolutely just get rotted to death. I suspect it's gonna modify Howl, but who knows? Possibly. I really would like to see it either be reduced the cast time of Shadow Fury by whatever and increase radius, and then something. The cast time of Shadow Fury is the problem here, man. That's the problem. But it also doesn't say anything, so maybe it does have reduced cast time. I don't know. Just cast time of Soul Stone, good, and Hellstone, fine. What's this? Like any Hellstones, you conjure yourself for not demonic Hellstones. It can be used multiple times. Perfect, good. Glad they didn't go anywhere. Demonic Hellstones might be the best defensive we've gotten in a very, very long time. Demonic Resilience, there's a chance you'll be critically struck. Where damage takes. Okay, cool. I don't know if we've ever taken Teaching of the Black Harvest. I think this is like a PvP thing mainly, right? Yeah, I think it's mainly just a PvP thing. Gorfiends is whatever. I think it might be cool, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't understand this talent other than you can take it twice, which is cool. The reduced cast time thing is interesting. Soul Leech. Blight of Weakness, which I think this one's cool. I really hope this actually like plays well in Casey. I think it has a really cool idea. Increasing their time between attacks, but I'd love to see it also increase cast times. No, it gives instant summons. Yeah, instant summons would be cool. It's insane. Howl is cool, but it's not a stun, right? And it breaks, so. But they are changing their philosophy of that stuff, so I don't know. No, faster soul stones right here. Or just cast on a soul stone and create hellstones. Oh, I told Floodgate. I have a 13. I don't know how to act. Let's fucking go, dude. Congrats, buddy. Huge man. And then Soulburn. Seems like regular Soulburn. But Blight of Weakness, I think, is really cool. And again, I wish they would also affect cast times. That'd be sick. Okay. Regular Wither. This tree looks insane with this like extra column thing. Like a Soul, Cruelty, and then these are all the new ones, right? So these are all the same right now. Because this is the new row. Got it. Yo, Clockwork Games, thanks for following, dude. Push button. Would change Curse of Satyr. Wait, what would change Curse of Satyr? Oh, wait, this thing? Blight of Weakness, that's fine. Farcloud's gone. The Farcloud is gone, dude. Yeah, you might. Every time I cast it, make sure you're looking at it. You're not gonna see much longer. Heroes aren't in yet. I'm sure. Yeah. So I go to 210s. Or fire proofs for Jance. I know. Don't worry. He'll get to look at him now. He'll be fine. Okay, Agony at the top. UA. See, this is like almost exactly how our tree was before. Like literally almost exactly how it was going into Dragonflight. Increased Mastery. Shared Agony. Okay, Nightfall. So, standard. Do wonder if we'd ever... I don't think we'd ever take... Grimoire Stack anymore. I don't know there's ever a world where that happens, but maybe. All looks the same. Absolute Corruption, Cyber Life. Definitely interesting that it's over here now. But I guess that's the way that they're adjusting how many points you have to spend, right? What's up with this little floating tree over here? All looks the same. Haunt, improved Haunt, I'm guessing. Gambit. Cool that it's higher in the tree. That's cool. Just cast time. It's great. We can actually get that. Just cast time seed. Great. We can get that. Interesting. Dark Harvest is on the same line with Haunt. That's interesting. I guess that makes a possibility where you might not take this in single target, right? I don't know. The floating tree, the Apex, I got it. That's such a weird spot for this, though. I'd almost like to see it, like, I don't know. I guess we'll see how it looks like design-wise, but this is bizarre to me. Increase Dark Harvest damage by 10%. When Dark Harvest deals damage, extends duration of Agony. Got it. Basically what Malign Omen was, but for Dark Harvest, which is cool. It's connected, I guess. So Drain Soul, chance to trigger Shadow Ball Volley. Good. Shadow Ball Volley still there. Sacrolash still there. Just move, switch sides. Good. Don't know if we'd ever take that. Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. Drain Soul. Shadow Ball and Drain Soul deal 8% increase damage up to 24. Okay, so it's just classic Withering Bolt. Interesting Withering Bolt's over here now. And not higher up on the tree next to like Nightfall. But okay. Increase Critical Strike of Agony. Contagion on this side. Yeah. Same. Expires. Chance to reapply. Chance to make your next CA cost no shards. Have to take that. Don't see why we couldn't. Standard Visionary. I don't know if there's any world where you don't take this for like Mythic Plus. This seems insane to me. Probably not for Raid, but for Mythic Plus for sure. I was wondering about... I'm very curious about the numbers for this. Because we talked a lot about how Relinquish is just not worth the point. And I don't know if it's worth 2 points for like 1.2 either. Increased damage, seed corruption helps by 50. So the seeds being at the bottom is fucking crazy, by the way. This is crazy. You have to go, you like are committed here for Mythic Plus for sure. Your Agony Corruption and UI deal 50% faster. That's a brace is huge. It being 40% too big. Quick size from Agony. And Malefic Grasp. So this seems to be like a choice, right? Either you go here for keys or you go here for keys. Casting Unsealed Affliction on target afflicted by your UA just by haste by 5%. Casting UA on a target who is not already afflicted by UA has 20% chance to refund the soul shard. I think this is so cool though. Increasing it from 1 to 2 is crazy. Agree. I know we're done with the war with him, but I just got Heroic Void Core. Pumped. Let's go. I know I want a Void Core so bad. No, we're not done with the war with him, man. Are you kidding me? Dude, if you look at the pre-order thing, you have to fucking... If I always like to check and see what it says on the date for the pre-order thing. It's like It says on or before like June of 2026, man. And then they said that housing is coming in December. We're still gonna be in the war with them for a little bit, bud. We're still gonna be in the war with them for a little bit, yeah. Who's we? I'm done. Chuck, you already left WoW a long time ago. Hey, bud. Big after. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff here, man. There's some very interesting stuff here. I'd actually be really curious about how pathing goes. Don't have soul buyer. That's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna be a lumberjack. I know you are, bud. Best guess March, April. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows, man? Linkwitch procs way better now. Well, it didn't. It's not a. The 1.10 is the exact same proc chance that it is right now on live. 1.12 is the adjustment. So whether you have 1 point here, if you have to have 2 points here for it to have any impact. I like 6,000 tender go hard. Let's go. So we both get in to alpha? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm part of that cool kids club. Are they sending out more invites tomorrow or something like that? Is that what you're saying? Haunt out cast demonic soul from within the twisted nether to haunt your target. The soul is unstable and ravenous, dealing shadow damage to its host and enemies 3 yards, and 3 enemies within 10 yards, so from corruption or restoration. Okay. I still really think this would be cool if it like worked with haunt, like in terms of like they also take increased damage. Increase the initial damage of haunt by 50%, and haunt increases damage dealt to its host by additional 2. And damage dealt by haunt has a chance to release its desperate demonic soul haunting its host, casting Fellclaw. Yeah, we saw this. The Carrion Swarm is so dope. That's so fucking cool. That's so fucking cool, man. And this didn't get any changes, right? Tomorrow goes up more invites. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, you saw Cool Kids Club for me. I did not. Yeah, he's not the Cool Kid Club. He's more of the Scene Kid Club. Yeah. The Scene Kids, though, didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it. The flavor text is really cool. I'm telling you, that Carrion Swarm thing is so sick, though. I love that. That's actually fucking rad. That's actually really rad. Okay, there was another thing that I read in here. That was more about just like their overall changes. I swear it was in here. Yeah, this is cool. The collecting a class stats appearance now unlocks all lower difficulties. That's fucking rad. We love that. Acquiring class 4 set bonus now unlocks a character specific feat of strength that will enable catalyst charges to drop from raid bosses. That's cool. What was the other thing though? Maybe it was just here. Dollar stones removed. There was a thing that was specifically talking about, like, and maybe it's just in those notes. I gotta scroll back up. It was more talking about just their core ideas for the for things, and I liked that. I wanted to look at that. Girls seen kids in oversized pants. Hey, I still wear tight pants. What's wrong with that? You know, Arsenal's icons. Yeah, it's fine. They're adding the icons. Yeah, I don't care about the icons. We don't care about that. This Servicer gets a good change because I like the flavor of the hero tree. There'll probably be changes to both, man. There'll probably be changes to both. I just want both to be competitive. If both are competitive, I'll be happy, man. I'll be happy. I already missed Valor Stones. I know you do. It's okay, but you still got plenty of time. Okay. Boss warnings, nameplates. Hopefully we can do a lot of customization of these. I'm actually really excited for this. Cooldown manager could be cool too. If I can ditch like all of our add-ons, I'll be happy. I'll be fine with that. I don't care. We'll see though. The only thing I'm worried about is a pandemic timer, because I like having those. Wins vault, wins raid. There's no raid. There's no raid. Chuck, you okay? Saw Unholy for a split second. Oh, really? Hold on. Did you see it again? Where'd it go? Oh, this was cool too. I don't know if anybody saw this. We're making adjustments on diminishing returns work in World of Warcraft. Diminishing returns for a system that reduces the duration of crowd control effects if they're used repeatedly against the same target. In order to make crowd control less frustrating in PvP, players will now become immune after 2 applications of crowd control from the same category. After being stunned twice, you're now immune. We felt that very low duration crowd controls were making it hard to cast spells and generally felt excessive. For PvE, we're removing the immunity after 3 stuns. Our primary goal here is to remove the need to track diminishing return state on enemies. Instead of enforcing a hidden and complex system to reduce effectiveness of stuns, we're doing a pass on classes and making sure the amount of stuns and the durations are appropriate for combat. This is cool. I think this is cool. Specifically for PvE. I don't really care about PvP right now. Return categories reset after 16 was 18. Creatures no longer be immune to stuns after 3 applications of the effect. The duration of the stun will affect to continue to diminish in half upon application until they reach 1/16th duration, where it will remain 16 seconds to pass. It's pretty cool. Actually pretty cool. I'm more excited about survival and arms. Oh my god, dude. I didn't see the Evoker Devastation have fun changes. Wait, what's up? What? Hey. It looks insane. Let's go, dude. Oh yeah, and global interrupt duration has been increased as well. That's pretty cool. So our interrupt is going up to 7 seconds. Get fricked on, I guess, demo, dude. There's up to 5, I guess. Good for them. That's pretty sick, though. Happy about that. Would have liked to have seen it, like, our cooldown maybe get adjusted as well, but, you know, because this is insane now, right? Wind shear is a 4-second lockout for, like, a 3-second cooldown? Crazy. Stat squish, and what was the other one, man? I thought that was in here. Was that whole thing about like classes and their like philosophy going forward for... I know that I wasn't talking about this. Maybe it's this. Oh yeah, it was this. I'm more excited about Survival in Arms. Lip stunning as demo for a split second instead of kicking. Yup. 07 Brand. Is he dead? She's at 12 seconds, not 4. Yeah, it's like 4 seconds. Fine. Have fun, Midnight. It looks fun, man. Looks like a good job. Looks fun, dude. Can't wait to actually play it in keys. I can't wait to actually play it. If I can get alpha access, I can't wait to at least test that. But I would fucking... I'm ready for beta for keys. I want that. It's always interesting. You want to get alpha, but then it's like, oh, I don't have anything to do except for hit target dummies. But I would still love to do that. Okay. So this is what I was talking about with some of the other core things, which I don't know if anybody read this stuff, but there is a lot of shit in here, specifically talking about their philosophy going forward at like how classes work and how like the gameplay loop will even work. I actually think a lot of stuff is like really important, man. Housing early access December 2nd. That's gonna be dope, dude. Can't wait till you see the train post. I have some words about it. I can't wait to. Stacking UAs is back. Yeah, you can have up to 5 UAs out. Okay. One thing we often hear is that there's a high level of complexity in one's class and combat design. Classes have a lot of abilities to manage, and it can be tough to find comfortable keybinds to them. During combat, there are many buffs and debuffs to keep track of, which is critical to playing well and can require intense concentration. Players trying out new specializations or specs also report that talent trees can be intimidating even after learning the purpose of each talent. There are still subtle interactions that are obvious and players that aren't obvious, and players often feel like they understand what bonuses combinations are critical to their success. The complexity of the combat system impacts all type of players in different ways, and everyone faces barriers. There are challenges for new players trying to learn the ropes for the first time, as well as returning players who are trying to catch up. Going further, we understand these challenges make it harder to recommend WoW to friends. Players sometimes feel their more inexperienced friends need a robust guide on how to play, manage add-ons, and more to even get started. Experienced players who are eager to improve their play can also tackle more challenging raid difficulties, often don't know where to begin to get better. Without reading a guide, they might miss out on several aspects maximizing their performance. We've heard feedback from skilled players tell us they have shelved some of their favorite characters because those characters' gameplay is more mechanically demanding than they have interest in. Expert players can spend hours configuring and maintaining add-ons to display information they did to be at the top level. I feel like Affliction like falls in this category bad. Gonna miss now that those webs still summon Rubians. Don't worry, you'll still hear about it. You'll still hear about it. These players in chat right now? Yeah, they probably are, Jan. You keep an eye out for them? Yeah, no, I'm sure Brandon's still going to be there. Don't worry. With Midnight, we aim to make gameplay clearer and easier to understand, so the path improvement is more apparent for players at every skill level while maintaining the depth of mastery that WoW offers. We're updating every class specialization with an eye towards approachability by reducing complexity and making gameplay more intuitive. We are beginning by focusing on what makes each specialization unique and designing gameplay that matches their theme, so your character's personality and style are reflecting on how you play. Our goal is for the most appealing visible elements of your spec to be what matter most in gameplay. Hey, so does that mean Affliction's going to get something cool for UA? Like some cool animation for it? That often means managing resource tracking and a few key buffs, debuffs, using ability changes strategically, and responding to important triggered effects known as procs. We want to ensure that players have all the necessary information to play a spec with clearly visible prompts and indicators in the user interface. This can include changing the design of complex abilities or reducing the number of debuffs and debuffs that can be active, so it's easier to pick out the most essential information on enemy nameplates or in cooldown manager. I'm telling you, man, there's like some massive changes coming to the ship. They're getting to reroll demo. Fuck no, we're getting to we just got a full rework. The animation from Han Apex talent's cool with the carrion swarm. I'm excited for that. We're also reviewing the amount of concentration or cognitive load required to play each spec. Cognitive load encompasses tasks such as keeping track of active auras, parsing conditions to choose the most effective ability in a given moment. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about UA versus Seed, or remembering long sequences of abilities. Some specs will demand more cognitive load than others. By design, keeping track of damage over time effects requires concentration, but it's also a big part of the appeal of like specs like Affliction, Feral, and Assassination. It's crazy they mentioned Affliction first global in here, by the way. We actually got mentioned, guys. However, we're reviewing all specs for areas where concentration demands are excessive, unclear, and don't serve enjoyable gameplay. Ultimately, our goal is that once every spec has all new class talent points, hero talents, apex talents has what we feel is manageable, fun, and appropriately challenged level of complexity. Gonna be dope, man. Gonna be dope, dude. And then this goes on to talk about dominating add-ons, abilities, meaningful gameplay, stuff that's like frequently macro together, and I think a lot of like procs and things like that. Stuff that just has like hidden modifier auras and shit that they don't want, and then subtle defined or whatever. Gameplay with high access per minute is physically demanding, such as linear ability buttons make it hard to set keybinds, situations like that. And then they still want to keep like mastering still part of it. And obviously still alpha things. And then there was that one little thing about healers that I think was interesting, right? They're like adjusting healing like at its core. Like they want this to completely shift. So they do we know exist. Yeah, they know exist. I'm only concerned there's a bunch of really big words for them saying they're watering down the game and things are about to get really boring. I don't think that's the case. I think there's some great things in there, really great part. Wait, I think there's some great things in there that really set the game part. There's also potential game to make me want to fall asleep. I don't think that's the case. I think it's more, at least this is the way I see it. I see it as more of a direct line of this thing happens, you have this answer. This thing happens, you have this answer. Instead of this thing happens, here's 12 answers for that problem. You could use fucking 6 of them, or you could use like 3 of them, and 2 of them require you to do it before that thing even happens. I don't know, we'll see. I see no mention of rat complexity in this. Lock down Discord, yeah, lock it down. Go and lock it down. Right around Xbox controller. People already play on a Steam Deck, who cares? I don't personally read it like that, but that's fine. Talent choice notes. Oh yeah, this is the thing about, I don't know if the healers read this, but I think this is really interesting. Like removing a bunch of like overlaps and causing like more gaps in between things and like adjusting like core spells and giving people more time to react. I think that's actually really interesting. I think that's interesting, man. It's a big Dreadlord demon spewing carrion. Yeah, it's actually cool. Eight of them are 2.6 of each other, but need a 4-page discussion about why you use one over the other. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know, man. It's alpha, dude. I think there's some really interesting things in there that they're talking about. I think there's some really cool concepts going forward, and I can't wait to actually see how it feels in the future, dude. I can't wait to see how it feels, man. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. Very excited. I think there will always be people who are like hesitant or reluctant, but until we actually see what Mythic Plus feels like and see what the game feels like as a whole, who knows, man? Who knows, dude?